Open the register, give me the fucking money now!
I get,
Hit the floor, asshole.
you know, if I had a nickel for every time that some piece of shit pointed a gun at me, I'd be a rich man.
Pump all the gas you can hold.
That's not good business.
Hey, mister. Got a name?
Harley Davidson.
Later in the evening, Harley visits a dive bar in town, where a man named Robert Lee Edison is playing pool against the leader of a native gang for money. Robert is nicknamed Marlboro Man because he always keeps an unlit cigarette in his mouth. He effortlessly wins the game, but his opponent doesn't want to pay for his loss.
School's out, boys.
You better get the hell out of town, cowboy.
Jumped on the wrong horse, cowboy.
He ain't no cowboy. He's more like a pretty boy.
Pretty boy.
A brawl ensues, and due to Harley's quip, the leader decides to take on Marlboro one-on-one. After getting cut and almost stabbed, Marlboro wins the bar fight. He leaves the bar followed by Harley because the two are actually longtime friends. The two are bikers, and as they get on their motorbikes, Marlboro asks where Harley has been for the past 2 years. Harley says he's been fixing motorcycles in Texas while thinking about life. The two continue to catch up while sitting on top of a billboard. Harley's eating a can of beans while Marlboro fixes his ragged boots with duct tape. As the two continue their ride, Harley wonders how Burbank can change into a futuristic city after only a couple of years. They stop at a place called the Rock and Roll Bar and Grill. Harley comments about Marlboro's damaged boots, and now his motorbike too. Because Marlboro's going to ditch the bike, Harley tries to shoot it, but he misses because he has an awful aim. He gives the gun that he stole from the robbers to Marlboro as a gift for his birthday today.
That's nice, man. Thanks.
Unlike his friend, Marlboro is an amazing gunslinger. It's a crowded and lively bar, but when Harley walks towards the stage, he bumps into a few suspicious suited men. He greets the owner of the establishment, whom they call Old Man.
I'm gonna regret it. I always do.
Who are the suits?
Some business is better left unfinished.
I see you around.
You got a death wish?
Harley reunites with Marlboro, and the latter punches in a special code on the payphone, revealing a hidden entrance to the back of the bar. He's greeted by another one of their friends, a deaf man named Jose. Harley asks if their friend Jack is still upset at him, and Jose only says that Jack's going to kill Harley if he knows Harley's here. Inside the hidden room, the crowd is wildly betting on an arm wrestling competition. One of the contestants is Jack Daniels, the man who's upset at Harley. He pretends to lose since the match is scripted, but upon seeing Harley, he uses his full strength to beat his opponent. Upset at the failed con, their other friend Jimmy questions why Harley is back after so long. Harley wants to set things right by talking.
Jack, I don't want to fight with you. We're friends.
I'm gonna kill you, Harley.
Told you.
But Jack doesn't consider them friends anymore and wants to kill him. Harley obviously has no chance against a big burly man like Jack. He's picked up, thrown outside the window, and lands on a car before Jack catches up with him to beat him up some more. It turns out that Jack is upset at Harley for having an affair with Lulu, who was Jack's girlfriend at the time and is now his wife. Harley manages to convince Jack that Lulu never had feelings for Harley, only for Jack. Finally, the two friends made up, and now they're all hanging out in the bar after closing hours. Old Man admits that he's forced to close the bar soon because the 30-year lease is almost up. The suited men from earlier are from a bank called Great Trust Bank, who wants to change the lease. They want Old Man to pay $2.5 million for a 5-year lease, which is ridiculous. The bank is purposely doing this so they can take over the land and build a skyscraper there. The band of misfits can't let their legendary hangout spot go closed without a fight, so Harley devises a plan to rob the bank's armored truck for some cash. Despite needing some push, everyone eventually agrees to the heist, except for Jack, who doesn't want to risk going to jail because he wants to build a family.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, baby. In a minute.
Now.
Can't start a family from behind bars.
The plan is to detour the armored truck by faking some construction works along its route, manned by the team. When it reaches the planned secluded shipyard area, they're stopped by Harley, who pretends to be another construction worker. One of the drivers walks out with his gun prepared, and when Harley turns around to point his shotgun, the other driver hits the alarm button. Harley and the drivers aim their guns at each other while Marlboro sneaks from above the truck.
Come on, get over here. Guns are made to be shot, Harley, not thrown.
They make quick work to tie the men up, while Jimmy and Jose bomb the back of the truck to break the door. After they grab the sacks of cash, some men dressed in long black coats come to intercept the bikers. They start shooting the band of friends with machine guns. From a distance, a familiar figure rides his bike towards the scene. It's Jack. Having some cover, they grab the money and escape through a manhole. With a car ready to go in the sewers, they successfully stole from the bank. However, when they open the bags, it turns out to be blocks of the crystal dream drug, with no cash in sight. It seems that the bank is a front for a drug cartel. The gang is dejected because their efforts are in vain, but Marlboro promises that he'll make it right. Meanwhile, in the Great Trust Bank's office, the CEO Chance Wilder asks the leader of his henchmen, Alexander, about their failed drug shipment. Chance orders his men to kill them and retrieve the stolen drugs. Back in Rock and Roll Bar, Marlboro is still upset at Harley for the failed mission. While trying to redeem himself, Harley is approached by a waitress who starts flirting with him and wants to go home together. Marlboro warns his friend that the wrong woman will break him, but Harley admits that he still has feelings for this one girl who suddenly disappeared years ago. Marlboro wants to borrow Harley's bike and tells him to take a cab with the waitress. He rides around that night and seeks trouble with a police officer on a bike. This leads him into an intense bike chase through the city until he ends up getting cornered in front of a house.
Stand up and put your hands behind your head. Now kiss the wall and spread them.
But when she cups his crotch, it's clear that they know each other. After they sleep together, the officer, Virginia, admits that she's going to get married soon. She still has feelings for Marlboro, but she can't stand his free-spirited way of living and his unavailability. Virginia says that he's not welcome back in her home after tonight, and they make love for the last time. In the morning, she wakes up to Harley making a burnt breakfast for his friend.
That's for Marlboro.
You're a bad man, Harley.
They decide to go to a diner for breakfast, where Harley asks her about Crystal Dream. She warns against messing with the deadly drug, and Harley reassures her that he's been sober for a while. Back at her house, Virginia admits that she's jealous of Harley and Marlboro's free-spirited life before she leaves for work. Marlboro comes out not long after, and he updates Harley about Virginia's engagement news. They notice an unused Harley Davidson bike in the garage. Marlboro figures that it's owned by Virginia's new man, so he decides to hotwire and steal it.
He's gonna take my girl, I'm gonna take his bike.
The two friends walk into the Great Trust Bank to set things right. Marlboro complains about Harley's lack of a plan, but Harley seems nonchalant and confident. They're greeted by Chance's secretary, who leads them to an empty office on the ground floor.
No problem. Well, looks like we really rattled the cage, Marlboro.
Seeing that Marlboro is anxious, Harley places a dollar bet that his plan is going to work. Chance calls them through the landline while watching them from a surveillance camera. He wants his drugs back, so Harley says that he's willing to return all of it for $2.5 million, plus another dollar for his bet with Marlboro. While they're talking, Marlboro notices Chance's men starting to surround the area.
Well, I'll tell you what, you better call your boys off or you ain't gonna get nothing.
Surprisingly, Chance agrees to the deal, and he also tells his men to let Harley and Marlboro leave unharmed. They agree to do the trade in an abandoned airplane field. Harley is backed up by Marlboro and the rest of their gang, while Alexander decides to come alone. Harley tells him to open the suitcase and show Jimmy the money first. Everything seems legit, including the extra dollar coin, so Jack drops the bag of drugs for Alexander to take. The guys return to the bar, showing their loot to Old Man and celebrating their success. However, Marlboro is still anxious because he thinks that there's no way a cartel this big would agree with their terms so easily.
What's wrong, man? We done good tonight.
Shit, Harley. It's too easy.
It seems that Marlboro's worries are justified. Soon after, Alexander and his men come to visit the closed bar. They talk to Old Man while the others keep quiet, but Alexander pulls out his gun and shoots Old Man dead. He shoots up the rest of the bar, killing Jimmy while the others scramble to find shelter. Jose tries to fight back, but he also gets shot up by the men. The 3 remaining bikers are distraught, but they try to escape while fighting back. Harley jumps down the window into a car, followed by Marlboro. However, before Jack can escape, he gets shot by Alexander and dies too. They climb the fence and run towards an airplane cargo buggy, hiding inside the cargo hold of a plane. An airplane employee catches them hiding, but they hold her down and shuts her mouth as Alexander inspects the area nearby. Another employee tells Alexander to leave, but he gets killed, prompting the subdued employee to stop struggling. Thankfully, Alexander doesn't notice them, so they hitch a ride in the cargo and land in Las Vegas. Marlboro expresses his disdain towards the city because he grew up there, but Harley says they're only going to stay the night to rest. He books them a hotel room at the very top floor, which Marlboro doesn't like because it means there are less escape routes. Seeing Harley still acting nonchalant, Marlboro punches him, thinking that he doesn't care that all their friends are dead.
4 of our friends got killed tonight. Jimmy's dead, you heartless piece of shit.
Hey, Marlboro, I didn't force anyone to do it.
Storming out of the room, Marlboro heads to the casino downstairs to call Virginia from the payphone. She instinctively knows that something is wrong and asks what happened so she can help. But he tells her that he has already caused enough people to get hurt. Suddenly, he sees Alexander and his men entering the hotel, so he bolts without even hanging up. He runs back to their room and warns Harley, who has found out that Alexander has been tracking them using a device hidden inside the dollar coin. They run away to the rooftop, but there's no other way to escape from the building. Alexander's men are close, but Harley has the idea to jump down into the hotel's swimming pool. Marlboro refuses because it's dangerous.
No,
It's the only way, man.
I don't care.
Man, I'd rather be smashed than shot.
Not me.
But Harley decides to jump anyway. With no other choice, Marlboro follows suit, and they successfully escape once again. The 2 hitches a ride on a cargo train, but Marlboro wants to go back to Burbank to avenge their friends. Harley thinks he's crazy because they got away, and they have $2.5 million to survive off of.
This ain't right. The money. We didn't get for ourselves.
Came out alive. We came out ahead. I ain't doing it.
Marlboro doesn't think it's right to take that money, and remembering Virginia's words during their last night together, he wants to stop running away from his problems. With Harley still refusing to join him, Marlboro jumps out of the train, saying goodbye to his good friend. He returns to Burbank in the evening, knocking on Virginia's door. However, it's her fiancé who opens it, still demanding to see her. The fiancé gets upset at Virginia, telling her to escort Marlboro out. Virginia does so while asking Marlboro what he wants to say. It turns out that Marlboro is there to confess that Virginia is the love of his life and that he's sorry, just in case he doesn't make it out alive from his confrontation with Chance. Once he's left alone on the curb, Harley suddenly comes on his bike to pick him up.
Sorry I'm late. I had a layover in Denver.
He finally came to his senses, and he's going to join his best friend to seek righteous vengeance. They once again sit on top of the billboard, where Harley asks what's the story behind Marlboro's tattered boots. He says it's the only gift his father ever gave to him, so it's special. Then, Harley shows off the new gun he got from Denver, which is a modified gun that is unpredictable and doesn't work well, according to Marlboro. Alas, they head to the airplane junkyard once again, with the tracker still on to lure Alexander. Their bait works, and Alexander takes a helicopter to head there, being snarky and mean towards the pilot along the way. He and 2 of his men search the area and find the suitcase, but it's empty save from the fake dollar coin.
These bastards are bulletproof, so aim for their heads.
The inevitable gunfight ensues, turning into a hide-and-seek within the junkyard. Marlboro manages to take out Alexander's 2 men with headshots. Alexander captures him and takes him hostage.
It's a good day for dying. Hey, Slick. Let him loose.
Harley always had a terrible aim, attempts to shoot Alexander, but accidentally hits Marlboro instead.
That hurt, Harley.
Gathering his nerve, Harley finally lands a shot on target, and together, the two manage to kill Alexander. The helicopter pilot offers to fly them to Chance Wilder's office because he hates his employer.
It's in the third world.
Looking for Chance Wilder. You him?
Once there, they return Wilder's money and demand that he revises the lease for the old man's property.
Hey, this ain't a game.
All business is a game, one way or another.
What are you waiting for? Just kill him and let's get the fuck out of here.
It's not right.
Wilder refuses and orders his men to kill them. However, the helicopter pilot appears outside the office window and opens fire with its built-in machine gun, killing Wilder's guards. When Wilder makes a cruel remark about Marlboro's deceased father, Marlboro snaps and starts beating him, eventually leaving Wilder hanging out the office window. He's barely hanging onto Marlboro's worn-out cowboy boot. Harley moves in to help Marlboro, but the boot falls apart, sending Wilder plummeting to the street below. The movie ends with Marlboro preparing to participate in a rodeo with new boots on his feet, and Harley bids his goodbye to continue his adventures on his bike.
Outside!